We all know that person that disappears when they get into a relationship. Sometimes it happens fast, sometimes it happens slow, but most of us have that friend or knew that person, and maybe it's you. It's like, oh, we haven't seen Sarah in a month. She must have found a man. Bob hasn't been active in the friend group chat. He must be seeing somebody. It just is what it is. And I personally have had that experience multiple times in my life. And I was kind of thinking back on those experiences. And I wanted to talk about it a little bit because I remember how I felt. I know how I feel now. And it's it taught me and is currently teaching me a lot about how I don't want to make other people feel. I want to make sure that my friends don't feel the way that I currently feel and have felt in the past when they've gotten into a relationship and I have felt neglected. And at the same time, I also do want to acknowledge that friendships change just over the course of time and not, I don't know the right word. Demonize isn't the right word. That seems kind of extreme. But I don't necessarily want to make people feel bad if this is something that they've done because it's kind of a natural thing. Um and we'll get to that. But I think our one of the main problems is that our current dating culture pedestalizes finding your person so much that it can almost make friendships feel like an afterthought. So, if you were online at all, which I'm offline, I think a lot more than most people, but it's the dating shows that are most popular on Netflix, right? Love is Blind is on right now. There's Married at First Sight and the even worse ones like The Ultimatum and all the Love Island and all the other ones. And I will say I am guilty of watching them. Okay, season 10 of Love is Blind has been getting watched. And years ago, I'd watch Love Island too, and I was like fully engrossed. Me and those episodes would be locked in every day. Okay, but there are so many of those, and then there's also, these days people who talk about every hinge date they go on and just in general, I think there's a lot of discourse about, these days dating is so difficult because women are like this, and these days it's so difficult because men are like this. And I think it makes a narrative of like it's so difficult to find your person that when you do, nothing else matters, which is not how it should be. Like, yes, dating is difficult. I know this. Here I am, single after having dated multiple times, and it is a struggle. But at the same time, that doesn't devalue your friendships. Um, and it's, I hate to call it a phenomenon, but I personally have started to expect that when my friends start dating, well, maybe not when they start dating, but when they get married, I'm losing a friend, which seems extreme until you hear my experiences with my friends who get married. And that's ridiculous. Like, the more I think about it, the more crazy that is. Like, the only difference is that this person now has a long time legal romantic partner, and now you feel like you're losing your friend. But honestly, like, with as many times as it's happened, it's like the dating phase is one thing. um it's sometimes you see your friends here and there. Sometimes it's like I would love to say double date, but ain't no man over here. So it's me and them or in a group of people. So sometimes you see them like that, but it is a little bit different than when they get married. And in most of my friends situations, when they get married, it's like that's when they move in together, that's when they combine their finances, that's when they start thinking about kids and that sort of thing. Like that's when the relationship gets taken to another level. I don't think it's like a lot of situations these days where like people are living together before they get married, and their lives are pretty much already combined. So it is the relationship is taken to another level when they get married, and I think that makes a big difference. um yeah, I think there's so much that we don't realize that we lose when friendship becomes an afterthought, because again, so many of us have this idea that, well, once I find my person, they're going to be my best friend, and they're going to be my financial partner, and they're going to be my co-parent, and they're going to be my business partner, and my all these other things. Like there's a laundry list of things that your romantic partner is supposed to be for you, and we don't realize that one person shouldn't be everything for you, and they can't. Like that's not fair to you, and that's also not fair to them, and it's also not fair to your friends. Also, it's like it's not fair to anybody. One person can't be doing the job of 10 people, even if they are the most important person in your life. And I really do think that in a healthy and thriving marriage, your marriage mate, your spouse, should be the most important person in your life. And there's like, some asterisks there. If you have kids, then your kids might go before your partner, and a whole host of other things. But generally, just because something is the most important doesn't mean that you should neglect all of all of the other things that come with the other relationships. I'd be like, yeah, so, I'm tracking my macros and I need to make sure I hit my protein. So you're not eating carbs and you're not getting any fat. Like you were just dry scooping protein powder all day long and expecting to still be a healthy and fully functional human being. That's not how it works. Like there will come a time when your wife doesn't have all the information for you, and you need to go to your mentor. And there will be times when your husband gets on your nerves and you just need a night out with the girls, even if you have talked through it with him and whatever other healthy things hopefully you're doing. And there will also be times when your partner just does not have the capacity to be whatever you need to be whatever they need to be for you. And that's where your community comes into play. That's when you have other people to circle the wagon and support your relationship. Yeah. Hmm. And going into my next point, and pardon me if I'm looking off. I wrote some notes, so if it takes me a second to like remember what place I'm at, please forgive me. I also think our friends are generally there for us through multiple romantic relationships. They see so much of our growth. I think our romantic partner definitely sees a different type of growth from us, right? Especially if you get to the point where you've been together for years and you're married and, what have you. But our friends see us through multiple boyfriends, through multiple girlfriends, through, for some people, engagements that didn't work out. And I think there's such a need to honor those relationships, because you need them before, you need them during, and you also need them after Hopefully none of your marriages end, but obviously we know the statistics on that. Yeah, it's like there's so much that we get from friendship, and our friends see so much of us. It's just it's kind of insane to me that so many of us cast aside those really beautiful relationships because we feel like we've got the one big relationship, you know? Like, I don't know, I've reached my big goal. I've made my It's just an example. I've made my $1 million. So now I'm not going to work on getting more fit, and I'm not going to work on being better at my job, and I'm not going to work on being a better parent or being a better friend, or like just all these other goals we have. All these big things to us just go out the window because you got the big one. um I also think that having really strong, healthy relationships make you so much of a better romantic partner. It makes you, I mean, and of course, there will always be people who are like, I don't like men that are too friendly. Go to therapy, please, if you feel that way. um, there will always be people, you know, hopefully kind of outliers who want to isolate you from your friends and your family, and they don't want you to have other people. I think that should be a huge red flag, by the way. If someone only wants themselves to be like your big relationship, your like everything, that's crazy. I'm no therapist. I'm no psychologist. That should be a huge red flag. Me with no letters behind their name says don't do that. Internet stranger says that's a huge red flag. But they do make you so much better in romantic relationships. I did mention it, but being a good friend, like it's almost a training ground. It's almost a mirror for how you will be for your romantic relationships. I think it's kind of insane thinking like, oh, just because I'm sexually attracted to this person, I'm going to always be kind to them, and all my conflict resolution is going to be amazing, and I'm always going to communicate because he is so fine. Or because our bank accounts are connected and because we have a kid together, you know that's what's going to keep this relationship strong. I'm going to be loyal to this person just because I'm very physically attracted to them, and we have all this history because he's a good kisser. It's like, no, chances are your friends have a pretty good idea or how good a friend you are. It has a lot to do with how successful you are as a romantic partner. If you're not a loyal friend, I'm not expecting you to be a good boyfriend. If you can't communicate with your friends who have been with you through everything, or lots of different stages of life, um, who am I to expect that you're going to be good to me, some woman that you just met? Hmm. Excuse me. I also think it's important not to, well, let's turn it over to me now. I think as I reflect back on different experiences that I've had with my friends who have disappeared when they've gotten into their romantic relationships, something that I really want to make a commitment to going forward is continuing to do what I have done uh before I get into a romantic relationship. So still continuing to make friends, and even after I do, I still want to make new friends. I still want to prioritize my friendships, even though I want to be in a romantic relationship. I would love to find my person. I would love to be married. I want to make sure that I don't get so caught up in the pursuit of romantic love that I stop prioritizing the platonic love that I have in my life. And I don't stop searching for platonic love. Like, I want to keep making new friends and meeting interesting people. And I also want to make sure that I very intentionally maintain my current friendships. Like, man, I got some stories with with my friends, especially after making such a huge move across the country. Like, my friends have been my lifeline here after moving so far away from my family. And my parents actually came to visit me a couple of months ago now, and that's one of the things they were really happy about. It's one of the things they were really excited about, is meeting my friends. And they were like, we're so proud of you. We're so proud of you for the friends that you've made. Like, we're not going to do this. I'll be back. Back to our regular scheduled programming. Okay. No, my parents were like, we're so proud of you and the friends that you've made. Like, they're responsible, they're kind, they're selfless. Like, they are riding hard for you, and they show up for you even when it's inconvenient for them. Like, y'all, my friends here, my friends here are amazing. Imperfect, of course, because we all are. But I think I want to I want to make sure that none of my friends feel the way I did during certain parts of my life when I felt like I lost my friends to their boyfriend, their girlfriend, their whatever. And here's how I plan to do that. Okay. One, if and when I ever get into another relationship, I think setting boundaries early is very important. Like, hey, if me and my friends have plans, me and my friends have plans. Okay? I'm not canceling on girls' night because you want to go to a candlelight concert. No, I'm kidding. Not canceling on my girls. We can plan around it. Like, we me and my friends still have time to do stuff without my romantic partner. Okay, without my boyfriend, without my fiance, without my husband. Excuse me. I think it's also important for your friends to meet your partner, your boyfriend, whoever, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever. Because that's also kind of odd to me. I mean, I know people have feelings about this, but I've heard people say, like, I'm not going to bring my competition. If I'm seeing somebody, my friends aren't going to know until we're like fully locked in. Is that not a red flag? I am not a therapist. Okay? I have no letters behind my name. But if you feel like your friends are competition, maybe we should get new friends, or maybe we should get a new man. Like, something feels off about that to me personally. If I'm friends with you and I know you're seeing somebody, I am not your competition. That man is ugly to me. And not, obviously not in like a ugh, like he's actually physically attractive to me. It's just that's not mine. Again, is that weird to anybody else? Uh-uh. I don't know. I think this is why more of us need to be in therapy. Cause oh what? Okay. The other thing is being really upfront with whoever I'm seeing, that, like, not just me making sure that I'm not allowing him to schedule over like my friendship time, but also letting him know up front, like, hey, these relationships are also very important to me. Just like, depending on how your relationship with your family is, hey, my relationship with my parents, my siblings, my cousins is also very important to me. And I want to make sure that I make time for all of you. So I'm slotting you into my life, but that doesn't mean that you are fully going to push out all of my other relationships that have been so important to me for so long, for a variety of reasons, that have been here before you. And maybe I meet some of my friends while I'm with him, but either way, like, those other relationships are important to me for different reasons. And while you are going to hopefully be a part of my life that's growing in importance, you're not fully going to push out any of these other relationships. um yeah, and I really want to make sure that I build a relationship that has room for both myself and him to have relationships outside of each other. I don't think that's super healthy personally. To be in a relationship where it's all each other all the time. That's kind of insane. I know I've said that a couple of times through this video, like, that's kind of crazy, but like, it's kind of crazy. Am I crazy for saying that that's crazy? I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah, and I looking toward the future. I'm glad I made this outline because I would have forgotten all of this. looking looking toward the future. Um, I think I look forward to a relationship where he and I are growing and thriving together, but we also have separate aspects of our life that we also kind of bring together in different ways. So, yes, I have my friends, you have your friends, but also we bring them together for gatherings sometimes. We all go together to an amusement park or a game night or whatever. Like, we're separate people that are joining aspects of our life. And I think that's what makes a romantic relationship beautiful anyway. You know? That's the one that's to me the type of relationship that enhances your life and it doesn't like replace the life that you had. Is that a bar? Did I do the thing? Did I? One more time. I want the type of relationship that enhances the life I have, not replaces the life that I have. I said that a second time for me, not for you. And I think all of that just makes you a more well-rounded and grounded partner anyway. I think there's something that feels incredibly unstable about either being the person or being with somebody who doesn't have any other relationships. That feels scary to me. Um yeah, it's just that's not the type of relationship I want. But in conclusion, I obviously our romantic relationships are incredibly important. A lot of it is what has sustained society for this long, humanity for this long. And there are lots of beautiful things that come with being in a romantic relationship. But having looked at some of my friendships, some of my relationships, I just want to make sure that I want to make sure that I'm still valuing my friendships, like valuing all the people that love me, not just the person that I have love for romantically. And I think I want more of that for all of us because that's sad. That's so unfortunate because I know I'm not the only person that feels like, oh man, my friend is my friend is getting married, I'm losing a friend. And it really shouldn't be that way. There's so many beautiful aspects of us as people, and it brings so much color to our lives when we have lots of people adding to our narratives and can love on us. Who only wants one person to love them? I want a whole village of people loving on me, and I would hope that the person that I love the most also has a village loving him. And he's very intentional about keeping the people that love him close and keeping those relationships nourished and maintained and growing over the course of time. I Slightly personal note, something that my I think my dad, one of my favorite things about him, in addition to just being a wonderful father, is he has these friends who he has literally had since they were in diapers. Like, they have photos together when they were in diapers. And he's like, yeah, for 60 plus years I've been friends with these other men, and they have photos and stories and now families that have grown up together, and they've maintained friendships through multiple kids, some of them multiple marriages, um deaths in the family, and new careers, and moves across the country and around the world. Like, it's such a beautiful thing seeing them together, and I think that's something I want for myself, and that's something that I hope that my partner has for himself as well. So yeah, y'all. This is the end of the video. If you don't know, my name is Alexis. I post here on YouTube every single day. And I think today is day 27. My goal is 100. So feel free to hop on this train early. Feel free to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to watch some of my other videos. I talk about career stuff, solo traveling, traveling the world, big life decisions I had, or navigating big life changes rather. I had quite a few big life changes happen in the last couple of years, and I'm just kind of talking through, hopefully helping some other people through their journeys. And yeah, this was an interesting one for me. As you can see, well, if this is your first time on the channel, you don't know, but this is a slightly different place for me to record. I don't know, I needed to be comfortable. Today was kind of a weird day, and so I'm sitting on like this cushion. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a mini bean bag, I guess. But I don't know. I'm extremely comfy. I'm in this like raggedy gym shirt. The like neck is all stretched out. I have on these like leopard print shorts that I was wearing when I was learning how to roller skate during the pandemic, that are like kind of ridiculous but also very fun, which is why I bought them. Um yeah, it's so random today. But this particular topic, I've been thinking about doing it for like a week maybe, and I kept pushing it off because I kept getting emotional. Like, I would start the video and I kept getting emotional, and as you can see, there was a quick cut. It's like one of the only edits you will ever see on this channel, or at least for the time being. Yeah, but I really wanted to do it. And like I said, I took notes today. I don't always take notes, but I wanted to make sure I expressed all of the thoughts that I was thinking and feeling after some self-reflection, and just general reflections on life. As somebody who, as I mentioned in the video, would love to be married, but I also want to make sure that in pursuit of a in pursuit and anticipation of a romantic relationship, I don't let my friendships fall by the wayside. And I never want to make my friends feel the way I have felt in different stages of my life when I felt like I've lost my friends. So, anywho, y'all, thank you so much for sitting here and and listening to me yap. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Feel free to drop your thoughts. I think this is one of those things that all of us have experienced. Some of us have been that person. Feel free to admit if you've been that person. I think it's it's something that a lot of us have to learn. And yeah, I don't know. That's it, y'all. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Bye.